Angkor Wat appears at first as a monumental work of grandeur. Yet the deeper one goes, the clearer it becomes that this place was never meant to display power or technical mastery. It feels more like a carefully composed space designed to lead people out of their familiar state of awareness and into another mode of being, slower, deeper, and quieter. Here, stone is not merely stone. Pathways are not simply for movement, and every line of sight feels intentional, as if the entire complex were a spiritual code waiting patiently to be deciphered through sensation rather than reason. From the moment you cross the first threshold, a shift occurs that is difficult to name. The outside world seems to be muted. The wide, still moat encircling Angkor Wat does more than create physical distance. It creates a mental retreat. The water is so calm it reflects the sky perfectly, giving the sensation of standing between two layers of reality, one tangible and immediate, the other accessible only when the mind is willing to settle. The long stone causeway leading inward does not invite haste. It forces slowness, not through difficulty, but because the space itself naturally slows your steps. Each footfall feels like an act of leaving something behind, the constant noise of daily life, unfinished thoughts, invisible urgency. The further you go, the more time seems to stretch. Nothing pushes you forward. Nothing demands to be reached quickly. Everything reveals itself gradually, layer by layer, as though Angkor Wat refuses impatience. Once inside, you begin to sense a very particular order shaping the space. All movement draws toward a center, not through signs or instructions, but through feeling. The central tower does not simply rise higher, it exerts a quiet pull. You do not need to know about Mount Meru or ancient cosmology to feel this. There is an unseen rhythm guiding you inward. As you move deeper, the space narrows, light diminishes, sound thins out. The experience closely resembles an inner journey, moving from the restless surface of life toward a deeper zone of focus and stillness. The way the architecture guides the human presence feels effortless. In the outer areas, conversation and distraction still exist. But further in, the long, darker corridors cause voices to soften instinctively. Stone door frames draw clear boundaries between light and shadow, like a wordless reminder that some things reveal themselves only when you slow down. At a certain point, you realize you're no longer walking in search of anything external. Instead, you begin to notice subtle sensations, the coolness of stone, the echo of your footsteps, the breeze moving through ancient openings. The space does not ask you to understand it. It only asks you to be present. Part of Angkor Wat's mystery lies in how it stands. Millions of stone blocks are stacked without mortar or binding agents, held together purely by balance. There is a deep layer of meaning in this. Order here is not enforced by force, but achieved by each element resting precisely where it belongs. Standing before these stone walls, one senses an ancient commitment that the sacred can be built through human patience, but once formed, it transcends humanity and belongs to time itself. Angkor Wat carries another quiet distinction in the fact that it faces west. This is the direction of sunset, of endings, but also of transformation. When the sun lowers, its light does not vanish abruptly. It spreads and lingers, bathing the stone in gold, making the entire complex seem to smolder with a gentle, contained fire. Sunset here is not sorrowful. It is solemn, like a daily ritual reminding us that every ending is a form of movement, not a final stop. For this reason, sunrise and sunset at Angkor Wat are not merely beautiful moments. They feel like two temporal gateways. At dawn, shadows stretch long and the water before the temple becomes a perfect mirror, placing the structure between two worlds, the visible and the symbolic. At dusk, the outlines soften, human voices fade, and Angkor Wat returns to its true nature, a space meant for listening. The spiritual weight of this place does not come from ritual, but from a density of silence. The space causes you to adjust yourself without instruction, standing alone in a long corridor, hearing only wind and the echo of your steps. You understand that Angkor Wat has never been a dead ruin. It is still alive, but alive at the pace of stone and memory. Sometimes, the simple sight of a monk in saffron robes walking slowly across a courtyard is enough to deepen the solemnity of the space, without the need for any explanation. At Angkor Wat, one lesson becomes unmistakably clear. You are not the center. The center already exists, unchanging, and your role is simply to move around it, enter it, and allow yourself to quiet down. In a world where everyone strives to become the center, this experience feels profoundly different. When you step back, you begin to see more clearly your own smallness within the long flow of history, the eventual dissolution of power, and the truth that what endures is not victory, but a space where humans are invited to confront their own limits. Leaving Angkor Wat, few people carry a feeling of exhilaration. What remains is usually a long, quiet resonance. It does not heal through softness, nor comfort through words. It is more like a vast mirror, reflecting impermanence with clarity. Yet it is precisely this impermanence that offers a rare kind of peace that comes from not needing to be important, not needing to hold on tightly to anything. Simply to exist fully in the moment, as Angkor Wat has done for centuries, without noise, without display, allowing each visitor to find whatever it is they came looking for.